What's up, netizens? You're watching Dark Star. My name is Anthony. Today I'm going to be watching a rap battle done by Rustage. That is Madara versus Aizen. I'm familiar with both characters. I like both characters. I like Aizen more. I like Bleach more than Naruto, so that's kind of like that whole thing. But Madara's a great character. Naruto's a great anime. I like them both. I'll be interested to see what's going on. Rustage. So they have a lot of like features and stuff like that where they'll bring in somebody. So it's always kind of hit and miss for me personally whether or not I like their verses or not. Some of their verses I think slap like just crazy hard. Like I think they did like Shonen Cypher type deal or whatever at one point, and I might have to look at that again at some point. But like some of the verses just banged, and some of the verses I was like, oh, this is really basic. Like this isn't that good at all. Like really. So yes, I mean. Basically, it's just kind of one of those things where you kind of have to see what you think about the verse and all that kind of stuff and the flow before you can kind of really decide if it's going to be a really good one or not. But I'm going to go ahead and react to this, see how I think it goes, determine a winner based on the rap itself, and go from there. So let's go ahead and check this out. I like that. Mixing the Naruto and Bleach stuff up together.
Think you're unbeatable, nah. Head in the clouds like Adobe. You like to say you're a god, but you don't compare to the god of Shinobi. Following your motives as a bad guy. How much of you faster than the sales of your franchise? Bitch can't even kill me cause I'm rising from the dead, and you don't even know how to use your Bankai.
That's pretty good. Hollow in your motive is a bad guy. I mean, it's a decent pun. Your motive is a bad guy. I mean, that's kind of one of those things where it's like you're kind of, if you haven't read the manga, it'll be animated soon because the anime's coming back. But as of right now, that stuff's not necessarily in there or whatever. So that would be why, you know, you might think his motives aren't unclear.
Even know how to use your Bankai. Dropping these fast, so I'm dropping these medias. Call up a Sparta, they want a new leader. You look like a substitute teacher. I guess it makes sense you'd be beat by a substitute reaper. Put a bigger hole for your chest, then gain when I spit flames like I'm a Tarasu. Claiming you plan everything from the start, so Aizen, you plan out this loss too.
Alright. Well, to be fair, Madara claims that there's a lot of Naruto planning going on too. Maybe not all from Madara. You've also got it from I can't remember what the thing's name is or whatever, but it's the thing that eventually kills Madara or whatever. I'm sure it'll be brought up again a little bit later in this. Dude, I really like this part where he was rhyming with the meteor leader, all that kind of stuff or whatever. Used his accent to his advantage a little bit. But yeah, it was a good rhyme scheme. That's not a typical rhyme scheme you typically see in a lot of different stuff. Flowed well. Thought it was good.
Claiming you plan everything from the start, so Aizen, you plan out this loss too.
You really want to box with a guy till you end up in a box at the guy. I see through your facade. You claim you got hands, that's a lie. Then you catch the fade from my guy. When it comes to revealing your competent, how you died and come back just to die again. Taking L after L after L must be tiring. You was better off just retiring. We in two.
Alright, well, so far, good flow for sure. Wasn't expecting the voice for Aizen because he's so like calm demeanor and all that type of stuff, and this was such an aggressive like voice and rap style to come out of it. I just wasn't expecting it at all. It's kind of something, I mean, it lends itself to rap, so you just kind of have to expect it. I just wasn't expecting it from Aizen because it's just not the type of character he is. But for Madara, it didn't bother, or I didn't even think about it because that is kind of like Madara is much more fast-paced, aggressive. He yells a lot. Like he's not like that. So, but yeah. Besides that, I mean, he's got the Might Guy line, which I thought was pretty good. The box into God, boxing you got sort of deal was okay as well. But mostly just the Might Guy things so far for his content. But the flow and stuff is pretty good so far.
You was better off just retiring. We in two different tiers. The difference between me and you is you're a puppet, me, I'm the puppeteer. He thought that he won, so guess who? That's just how I made it appear. Anything you can do that can harm me. I came for a battle, but you got nothing for me. I ain't gotta kill you cause your man did it for me, stupid.
Cause your romance did it for me. Stupid. I was not expecting that. Stupid. Oh man, I wish I could remember this fucking. It's black and white. Zametsu. I feel like I'm getting the characters from Demon Slayer and Dragon Ball Super are messing with me. Zenitsu is from Demon Slayer. The character, and then the god is. Oh man, I'm gonna have to just look this up. Yeah, okay, so yeah, the other one. It's Zetsu. Zamasu is from Dragon Ball Super. Zenitsu is from Demon Slayer. Zetsu, black and white from Naruto. I just got it all jumbled in my head for a minute. Anyway, but yeah, I think so far the guy that got for Aizen is just kind of relying on his flow and humor a little bit and style more so than his lyrics. I think Madara's lyrics so far have been better.
Because your man did it for me, stupid.
I'ma bring a beast to a sword fight. Aizen, but no foresight. Of course you would be bad at rapping, cause looking at you, man, you're all white. Ears need bleach from these raps you're dropping. Lay you to rest in your own black coffin. I stay the best while this dude stops walking. That chain makes sense cause you fight like Harkin. Your final...
Oh, these fucking lines, bro. What the hell? Sure makes sense because you fight like hockey. What the hell, bro? That's messed up. Oh my god. I mean, I say the best while this dude stops walking. First of all, Chair-sama, I mean, is the most powerful entity in all of shonen. You know what I'm saying? Second of all, I mean, it's kind of difficult to bring. It's kind of a weird thing to bring up how the villain ended up at the end of the series when you literally died. You didn't even get to like enact your, like, you didn't even get to fight the final, like, be the final boss for the character, like in your arc or whatever. Like, you died and you immediately got replaced. It's kind of hard to like throw out there like, I stay the best while this dude stops walking. Like, you died. What do you mean? Even if he did say, like, even if you're right, like at those different times, like at the end of the series or end of that perspective arc or whatever, Aizen stops walking, quote unquote, and Madara's just dead. Like, I feel like Aizen comes out on top of that one.
That chain makes sense because you fight like Harkin. Your final fusion is drawn by a 5-year-old. You were outsmarted by Urahara.
Oh, wait. I really like that. That was really clever. I like that. Having the Rukia do the drawing or whatever. That was really well done. It was really well done. Hopefully that was actually like well intentioned and all that kind of stuff or whatever, and they didn't just find a picture of a Bleach character with, you know, something to draw on or whatever and basically edit in there, and that was on purpose. I'm gonna assume it was, because it's not like this is not done by anime fans or whatever. But yeah, I really like that.
Dude stops walking. That chain makes sense because you fight like Harkin. Your final fusion is drawn by a 5-year-old. You were outsmarted by Urahara. Coming to villains gets limbo is useless. Just look at how badly you lowered the bar. You know I got the Renegon, you're breaking down, you better run. The power is Genjutsu, we learned that as kids. Aizen, why don't you shut the fuck up? I thought you were used to taking the fifth.
Your power is Genjutsu. We learned that when we were kids. I mean, you can't deny that. I do think some of these lines now are kind of filler lines. Aizen, why don't you shut the fuck up? You know, I mean, it works obviously with the next line. That is kind of the whole point of the line or whatever. But it is one of those lines where it was just like, yeah, I don't really have anything else to like kind of throw in, and it's clever. So let me put in a line where I tell him to shut the fuck up, sort of deal or whatever. But wasn't too bad. I missed this. Okay, this limbo line is pretty good too. Limbo and lowered the bar. Okay. Alright, yeah, those are some pretty solid lines for sure.
You shut the fuck up, I thought you were used to taking the fifth.
He got the Renegon, now he thinking that he flawless. I look into his eyes, all I see is two talkers. I'm immortal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Being me on the plot, this clown dies regardless. He overconfident, and I really find that amusing. Haven't seen my podcast, cause you never pushed me to use it. This is not fair. What you seeing is an illusion. His powers inside his eyes, and he plan to how I maneuver.
Okay, wait. We gotta get some of this back or whatever, because he's going through some fucking crazy lines in here pretty quick. I like the way that, once again, using dialect accent, whatever you want to call it, to get a good rhyme in there. Rhyming flawless with targets. Obviously not a natural rhyme, but you do it in a way that makes it sound natural. So I thought they did a good job of that. That was good. Yeah, and then he brings up the fact that he dies anyway. So, you know, like I said, that's I would try to avoid the topic of what happened at the end if I'm Madara, right? Because you lose that battle. Like, Aizen's still Gucci and Madara, you know, gets fucked. So yeah, that was good. And I really like this. This was a good comeback to the Bunkai line, you know, towards the beginning of the thing. You haven't seen my Bunkai because you haven't made me use it yet, basically. You haven't pushed me to use it. So yeah, that was a really clever way of, I mean, it's not, you know, Einstein levels of stuff, but it was a good way to basically come back to it. It's like, oh, you don't even know how to use your Bunkai. It's like, well, you never made me use it because I'm just that, like, much stronger than you or whatever. So yeah, I thought that was a good comeback there for that one.
Use it, this is not a fair fight. What you seeing is an illusion. His powers inside us actually blind how I maneuver. I'm a beast. Call me numero uno. Tell me, what is a Madara? I am a king. You cannot compete when you lose your life to a follower. Hard body, put a cheek in his arm. I know hard body, put him down when I wanted that. Hollow, make him hollow, now he a goner. Play with me, I sing you straight to the sooner. Bow.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know who Azuna was at first. Now, if I'm correct, right, that's his brother. This was when they were fighting as brothers against them earlier on in their lives. Let me just go ahead and make sure that I'm not wrong here so I don't look like an idiot. Yes, I'm pretty sure I'm right. So yeah, that was definitely that was a solid way to end it for sure. I think they did well with that. Yeah, and then I like the lose your life to a follower line. I thought that was done pretty well. But a lot of the other stuff, once again, I think he had more empty bars than Madara did. I think he kind of had a better flow, and he really relied on his charisma and stuff like that to kind of overpower it and make it seem like it, which worked pretty well. I mean, the first time through, before I went back and read, you know, all the lyrics and found some stuff that I thought was kind of emptier and not really as clever or whatever, I was just kind of vibing to what he was doing or whatever, and he had me going. So, I mean, it's definitely a, you know, that's definitely a way to get people on your side. Looking at some of these comments, there's quite a few people that think Aizen had like deeper cutting lines, which I don't agree with at all. I think Eminem had, Jesus Christ, sorry, I just saw a picture of him. I thought Madara had, I thought Madara had the like cleaner lines, or maybe at least more clean lines or whatever. And so that's kind of the way I felt doing it. But if you just watch it through one time and you go down to comment, you might think, man, those bars were like hella clean, because of the way that he presented it was really, really, really solid for Aizen. So I would say Aizen for flow, charisma, all that kind of, yeah, anything to do with rhythm, all that, any of that kind of stuff, I'd say he takes it pretty handily. I think lyrically, Madara took it. Personally, I do think that Aizen, for me personally, if you want to add together, you watching want to go ahead and add in my bias as well. That's fair. But if you want to add in my bias, the fact that he did have the better flow and control. I also thought that the beginning of one of Madara's verses, the part where he said that he lowered the bar, it was a clean line, but I didn't think it was delivered that great. It was kind of a little bit awkward. That set of bars or whatever did a little bit down. So I think Aizen was cleaner in terms of his flow and all that kind of stuff. And I think that I have a little bit of bias towards Aizen, not over Madara, obviously. And I think he did have enough like good lines and good comebacks to some of the lines that Madara had that I would personally lean towards saying that Aizen won the rap battle. But if you value lyricism heavily, which I feel like I do, depending. I feel like I'm like 50-50 on lyricism and flow. Like, those are the two most important. Like, delivery and lyricism are like the two most important things to me. And I think they split pretty evenly on that, right? I think Aizen's lyricism was maybe a little bit lacking, but his flow was really, really good. And I thought Madara's flow was like very minimally lacking, right? Only a couple parts that weren't quite as good, but his lines, his lyricism was significantly better. So when you combine those two, it's really close. once again, I'm edging it just towards Aizen. Like I said, a little bit about the bias. I think that his lyrics were slightly closer to Madara's lyrics than Madara's flow was to Aizen's flow. So that's kind of where I'm tipping the scales a little bit there. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Hope you guys enjoyed. And maybe I'll watch more in the future. Until next time, Sir, catch you on the dark side.
Those hands and lights can't stop me. I just hold